Hey guys, Steve here from PC Budget. Wait. Big Head Tech, right? What is this? I thought you were done with these budget solutions. I am to a degree. The reality is, this is an interesting project. So, there's a guy locally selling a bunch of these HP Z400s, which are decent specs. They're older. But we want to see if this can be truly turned into a gaming system all around. Not just internals, but external as well. You often run into problems with proprietariness and stuff, but we're gonna give it a shot. So let's come along for a ride and see if we can actually turn this into a decent mid-range gaming computer. Get started. So the specs, it is a Intel Xeon W3680, I believe. Basic graphics card. We got some decent looking memory in there from, looks to be G-Skill. So we want to take a look at some things. Let's start taking things apart here. And I can't remember, do these go inwards or outwards? Can't remember. There we go. So it does post. I did check that. We're going to get that bad boy out. It comes with an 80 plus bronze power supply, believe it or not. This is the era when they start to actually put like somewhat quality power supplies in these systems. So this front header shouldn't be proprietary. Me and him looked at it, we didn't think that was the case. The question is, what is, that is to the speaker. Okay, so that's not important. So we have your standard HD audio. So let's go ahead and just get this board out of here. And of course I have the wrong bit there. Let's get us the right bit. Okay. So there's something annoying about this board, and I'll explain here. Because this cooler doesn't have a fifth wire, it gives an error. This is like a known issue with this board, so be it. Now here's the other question. This I/O shield, how proprietary is this here? So after 3 heatsink attempts and just verifying that this can go into a regular case, which it can, and getting stuff tangled, grab our screwdriver and get these mounted down all the way here. Perfect. Perfect. This guy will go here. This will attach to 2 fans. Should probably put the LED fans on it because, you know, it'll look nicer, but so be it. We have this running, all 6 cores. Let's run some Cinebench once this stops yelling at us. Sure. There we go. Thinking. Still thinking. There we go. Maybe. So, interestingly enough, this should have hyper-threading enabled, but it's only doing 6 threads, when it should be doing 12. So now that we figured out a hyper-threading was disabled, that was kind of a whoops there. All right, Cinebench R20. Let's do it. Takes a few seconds to get this going. But we do have all 12 processing threads working now, so that's a plus. Wait for it. There we go. Now I see 12. The single threaded is going to be a little bit of a pain. I have a blank I/O shield. I have a Xeon motherboard with a liquid cooler just kind of chilling here. I have a large SSD. I have a power supply. I got an RGB case. H100i. I got a 90 millimeter fan, a cable extender. It's like, what hodgepodge combination of what am I trying to put together? Well, I think I have some footage, which I will or will not show you, so no guarantees. This is the intro, about me trying to take an HP Z400 and putting it into another system. One couple problems with that. 24 pin is different than the standard 24 pin. So again, adapter is 20 bucks. The I/O shield is attached to the motherboard tray, and cutting that out and getting it to fit wasn't going to work, so there's a blank I/O shield. I happen to have a really old 1366 compatible bracket for this guy, and everybody wants RGB, so I have an RGB case, or case with RGB fans in it. So this review should be up by now as well. Let's get her together. I went through a lot of trouble trying to get this together, and there's a good chance that I'm not going to be able to make any money on it, but that's fine. I have had some build footage of what it was like to build in this case. I also had a build log and an overview of this case. There was something with a connection or something. I did 3 videos, come back, the sound quality was utter garbage. So let's just talk about the fun stuff. So taking an HP Z400 and moving into a case is no simple task. I/O shield won't move over. You have to fabricate your own, which I could not do. Power supply is not standard. The 24 pin has a different pin layout, so it won't boot. You have to get, you can see right here, an adapter, $20. I have up here a fan, and that fan plugs in down over there, and it's a 90 millimeter fan. It's not RGB. I have a rear USB expansion card. What you don't see is I have some grounds in there as well, jumper switches. So it took a lot, and let's talk about why. First things first, pretty much everything has to be populated. That's populated from the factory, or else it'll say something is not connected or detected. Press F1 to boot. First, the CPU. Fan, rather. Stock, it comes with this 5-pin, but only has 4 wires CPU fan. I didn't want to use it, or CPU cooler rather. I didn't want to use it because I want to use a better cooler, especially since I had a 6-core Xeon W3680 versus the stock quad-core. And mind you, this is a 130 watt CPU running mid 3 gigahertz with hyper-threading. So what I did was I bought the Z400 fan that goes on the heatsink, mounted in the top with 4 screws. It lined up with the honeycomb mesh, so perfect there. And I plugged in as an exhaust fan. That code goes away. The HD audio code's away because this has front audio. The system fan header went away because I plugged in one of the fans. I think it was actually the rear fan to it. That went away. Then the front USB header, and it took me forever to figure this one out and a lot of money spent. I have a USB expansion card back there. I kept it in there for more USBs, but the idea was this had what I thought 2, it turns out it's 3 USB internal headers. And I said, well, they just all have to be populated, right? Wrong. There's 2 internal ones that don't have to be populated, and 1 front, and that one is yellow. So we have a blue one here, a blue one, and a yellow one. Okay. So it's populated. The front USBs work. The rear USB works. Why is it still saying it's not connected? Well, back then, the 9-pin USB headers actually had a ground from pin 8 to 10, which is 10 is right across from the dead pin. Current generation ones do not have that. So how do you fix that? Well, luckily this has 3 headers, so I used the 2 internals for the front and then the other internal for the expansion card, because I figured I'd keep that in there. And then I got a jumper to ground out pin 8 and 10. So now the system powers on, it games, it plays, it cools, it edits, it does everything. We got 16 gigs of RAM, G-Skill, they're like 600 megahertz. We have it CPU running very cool on our H100i. We have an RGB controller front and back. We have everything. So it's running now. It cost me over $500 in total parts, and the reality is, I'm not gonna be able to sell it for that much. It's part of doing business. There's no doubt that I'm in business to make money, because I work a lot with Big Head Technology Solutions LLC. I have multiple income streams: break fix, custom computers, YouTube, affiliates. I have a lot of ways, and obviously I'm an engineer by day. So this will be a loss for me. It's probably worth about $400, roughly, maybe $450, but that's fine. It's a really nice project. You take an older system with parts from 2010 to 2014, 15-ish, some newer parts as well, and bring in a 2019 with RGB, large SSDs, modern power supplies. Just really, really fun overall. So hopefully you like it. All the modern parts will be in the link in the description below. Liked it if you liked it, dislike if you dislike, leave a comment, get subscribed. But as always, this is Steve from Big Head Tech, and I'll see y'all later on down the road.